The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Summer Newmans will face an emergency that brings a meltdown. Will Phyllis Summers come to Summer's rescue and earn herself a new job opportunity? During the week of April 28, May 2, Summer will wind up with a serious crisis on her hands. There'll be some work drama that erupts and leaves Summer totally freaking out. From a writing perspective, this could be happening for a few different reasons. It's possible Chelsea Lawson will be tangled up in all the chaos and realize she's ready for a professional change as a result. Summer might show her true colors as a cruel boss and leave Chelsea ready to embrace the idea of working with Adam Newman at Newman Media instead. Then again, it's possible Chelsea's decision to quit will be part of why Summer's in panic mode. Chelsea's resignation could be what launches Summer's emergency, since she'll be down a creative director at Marchetti. Whatever the case, Chelsea is going to make a daring move that'll most likely involve jumping ship and heading to Newman Media. This work emergency is also ahead for Summer, so the pieces could be coming together for Phyllis' new job. Phyllis has been trying to give Daniel Romalotti Jr. a path forward and fix his problems, but he honestly doesn't want her help. Perhaps Phyllis could find some comfort in stepping up and saving the day for Summer instead. It looks like Billy Abbott will push Phyllis out of Abbott Communications over her obsession with including Daniel. Phyllis apparently won't end up working there either, so a return to Marchetti may be in her future. I and our fans may recall that Phyllis previously ran Marchetti home, at least until she got fired. Getting the boot from companies has become a habit for Phyllis, but she may make a triumphant Marchetti comeback. If Phyllis comes to Summer's rescue when this looming work crisis hits, Summer might be impressed enough to let her take Chelsea's place. Summer might offer Phyllis the creative director position and make a prediction about this arrangement working out for both of them. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Pulse Canvas. It's me, Julie here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching. So let's dive into today's video. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Victor Newman will seek revenge over Kyle Abbott and Claire Newman's decision to live together. Once Victor gets updates on how fast Claire's relationship is moving, he'll have some urgent new orders for Audra Charles. During the week of April 28, May 2, Kyle will push Claire to consider moving in the Abbott mansion for a while. Although Claire and Kyle originally took the Abbott house off the table, Kyle will try to sell it as a temporary option while they look for a home of their own. However, Claire won't be ready to start living together quite so soon. The apartment hunt will give Claire some time before they jump to the next step, which Victor obviously isn't going to approve of. Claire will open Kyle's eyes to the fact that living on the same property as Jack Abbott would infuriate Victor. It'd take a bad situation and make it even worse, so Claire isn't interested in doing that. Nevertheless, Claire can't avoid telling Victor about her plans forever. Since Claire intends to stand up for herself and what she wants, she needs to make it clear to Victor that this is happening. Victoria Newman, Cole Howard and Nikki Newman already know about Claire and Kyle's move-in decision, so it's almost Victor's turn to hear about it too. It turns out Claire might get a little help with breaking the news to Victor. Y and R spoilers say Nikki will take charge of the situation in an effort to assist Kyle and Claire. That makes it sound like Nikki will tell Victor about Claire's choice to live with Kyle. Nikki may try to get through to Victor when it comes to backing off and accepting that Claire has a mind of her own. Although Claire won't be living in the Abbott mansion, that won't do much to ease Victor's concerns. Victor will end up boiling mad, so it seems he'll get ready to retaliate. Victor will no doubt blame Kyle for rushing Claire into this, so he'll put a rush on Audra's mission to split them up as well. It won't be long until Victor's pressuring Audra and upping the ante when it comes to her breakup plot. Audra will be forced to really get her head in the game and make some destruction happen ASAP. Victor may sweeten his deal with Audra if she can get this done immediately and threaten to pull the plug on their agreement if she doesn't. When it comes to daytime TV legends, The Young and the Restless knows how to pick them. But what if they had missed out on one of their brightest stars? Today, we dive into how The Young and the Restless almost lost Mark Grossman to another soap, and why fans are so lucky fate intervened. Mark Grossman became a household name the moment he debuted as Adam Newman. However, things could have turned out very differently. Before joining The Young and the Restless in 2019, Grossman nearly landed elsewhere. In a recent interview, Grossman revealed he auditioned for General Hospital. He credited GA's casting director, Mark Teschner, for giving him his first big chance in Los Angeles. Grossman shared that Teschner took him to producers within his first month of arriving. Grossman didn't land a role on GH, but he never forgot the opportunity. He spoke highly of Teschner and expressed how grateful he felt for the early support. If things had clicked differently, Grossman might have ended up in Port Charles instead of Genoa City. After auditioning for General Hospital and The Young and the Restless, Grossman got the call. Interestingly, he had no idea what role he was being considered for. When he finally met Sharon Case and Joshua Morrow at the network callback, he realized the stakes. Grossman admitted feeling nervous before his screen test. Despite the jitters, he nailed it and earned the role. 6 years later, he remains a cornerstone of The Young and the Restless. Imagine Genoa City without Grossman's intense portrayal of Adam. It is a scary thought. I and our fans can breathe easy knowing he chose the right soap home. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Daniel Romalotti is still struggling with life in the aftermath of his partner's passing. During the week of April 21 to 25, he admitted to lacking creativity and what to do next, and that he's still grieving Heather Stevens' passing. With that said, his friend Tessa Porter came to his rescue and helped him navigate through some feelings. She also agreed to teach him how to play the guitar. Still, is this all innocent, or is something more going on? Daniel and Tessa have been in each other's orbits a lot as of late. What seemed like filler scenes as the two conversed now looks like there might be more than just a friendship developing between Tessa and Daniel. Tessa agreed to help Daniel with guitar lessons, and there were some sparks flying in the process. However, what does this mean for their future as a couple, considering Tessa is married to Mariah Copeland and they share a child? Many Young and the Restless fans have been frustrated in recent years due to the lack of screen time and storylines that Tessa and Mariah get. After all, the show dropped the ball when the ladies adopted Aria Porter Copeland, with all the interactions surrounding this occurring off-screen. The couple had a little bit of action when Ian Ward returned, and there was conflict between Tyrea, as Tessa truly believed Ian's "I've changed" manipulation, while Maria was shocked at it all. Still, could Tessa and Daniel cross a line? Could fans be witnessing the beginning of the end for Tyrea? Having a small child can take a toll on any couple and their romance. So have the two ladies grown dull in light of managing motherhood? Could Daniel and Tessa engage in an affair? Maybe they genuinely fall in love. Do you think Tessa and Daniel would make a cute couple? Join the conversation in the comments section. Catch CBS Soap Daily to see what happens next and visit the site often for the best Young and the Restless updates, news, and spoilers. In Genoa City, tensions run high as romantic betrayals, power moves, and suspicious behavior dominate the lives of the Newman, Abbott, and Spectra clans. The week of April 28 through May 2 promises fireworks on The Young and the Restless, with key characters confronting emotional challenges and dangerous liaisons. From Sally's scheming ambitions to Holden's unsettling presence, viewers can expect a cascade of drama that will reshape relationships and ignite rivalries. Daniel's struggle and a musical escape. It all begins with Daniel Romalotti, who, feeling creatively stifled, turns to Tessa Porter for guitar lessons. Longing to reignite his passion for art and music, Daniel chooses to connect with Tessa at Crimson Lights, rather than seek guidance from his famous father, Danny Romalotti. While Tessa kindly agrees to help, she subtly reminds him that he's avoiding the most obvious mentor in his life. Their sessions at the coffee house are intimate and earnest, though not without disruption. One can only imagine the patrons trying to sip their lattes while Daniel fumbles through his chords, a charming but realistically frustrating scenario. Despite the minor public disturbance, this new friendship may prove to be a pivotal turning point in Daniel's personal and professional journey. A mother's second chance, meanwhile, a much-needed emotional breakthrough emerges for Amy Lewis and her son Damon. Thanks to Nate Hastings, who delivers hopeful news from Amy's doctor, Amy agrees to an advanced therapy program in Boston that could significantly extend her time and healing. Nate and Damon vow to support her through the journey, setting the stage for a heartfelt reunion. Their embrace at Nate's apartment is full of warmth, as mother and son look forward to healing old wounds and building a stronger bond. This tender subplot reminds viewers of the show's emotional depth beyond the business boardrooms and love triangles. Sally Spectra. Power play in motion elsewhere, Sally Spectra is on high alert, especially where Phyllis Summers is concerned. Sharing her suspicions with Audra Charles, Sally accuses Phyllis of sinking her claws into Billy Abbott, an accusation laced with jealousy and strategy. While Audra questions whether Sally feels threatened, Sally insists she's simply cautious, hinting that Phyllis might want more than just Billy's attention. Audra, always ready for corporate manipulation, encourages Sally to play dirty and remove Phyllis from the equation entirely. But their conversation takes a darker turn when Holden Novak enters the picture. Sally notices his strange, borderline obsessive behavior toward Audra, who brushes off any concern. Sally warns her, "Keep Holden away from Nate." The tension rises as Holden eyes Audra a bit too closely, raising red flags about his intentions. After Sally departs, Holden presses Audra to share a drink. She declines. Undeterred, he boldly asks for a job at her new company. It's clear Holden isn't backing down anytime soon, and his stalking tendencies add a layer of psychological suspense to the narrative. Victor Newman is playing his cards close to the vest, even with his beloved wife, Nikki. As he plans her grand birthday celebration, Victor is simultaneously orchestrating secret business moves, including a high-stakes deal with Audra. When Victor discovers that Claire Grace Newman is planning to move in with Kyle Abbott, he's far from pleased. Claire's entanglement with Kyle doesn't sit well with the Newman patriarch, and he wastes no time in issuing a stern directive to Audra. Break them up, or the deal's off. This puts Audra in a difficult position, balancing Victor's demands with her own corporate aspirations. With so much at stake, her next move could spark explosive consequences. Back at Abbott Communications, Phyllis storms into Billy's office, pushing an agenda to force Daniel into a job he doesn't want. Billy, tired of her erratic behavior, finally draws a line. "Drop the Daniel stuff, or you're out." Sally walks in just in time to hear this ultimatum and watches, stunned, as Billy takes a firm stand. Phyllis, clearly blindsided, storms out. The showdown may be just what Billy needed to reclaim some personal and professional control. But for Phyllis, this could be the start of a dangerous spiral. On a lighter note, Diane Jenkins hosts a grand reveal at the Abbott mansion. With Jack and Kyle by her side, she dramatically unveils the extensive renovations she's completed, channeling the flair of a home makeover show. Jack appears pleasantly surprised, and Diane is radiant with pride. But even amid the fresh paint and modern finishes, an undercurrent of tension lingers, especially as Kyle prepares to move out and begin his next chapter with Claire. Claire, meanwhile, reveals to Victoria and Cole that she and Kyle are deeply in love and will be living together with young Harrison. The parents offer cautious support, but the looming presence of Victor's disapproval threatens to fracture the already fragile family harmony. As the week progresses, Chelsea Lawson confronts Adam Newman about his latest erratic behavior. Is it a personal vendetta or another scheme in Victor's war against the Abbotts? Adam is evasive, and Chelsea's suspicion grows. Meanwhile, Lily Winters is left to watch over Audra while Nate is out of town assisting with Amy's treatment. Lily's instincts are sharp, and Audra's odd behavior doesn't go unnoticed. With Holden lurking in the shadows and Audra plotting under Victor's influence, Lily may be forced to step in before things spiral out of control. All roads lead to the long-anticipated arrival of Aristotle Dumont. Though the name has been teased for weeks, his introduction is expected to send shockwaves through the business and personal lives of Genoa City's elite. As May sweeps approach, viewers can expect jaw-dropping revelations and unexpected betrayals that will test loyalties and upend power structures. The Young and the Restless continues to deliver must-watch drama with its intricate storylines and richly drawn characters. From corporate warfare to emotional reconciliation, the week of April 28 through May 2 is filled with schemes, suspense, and sizzling conflict. Don't miss a moment as the chessboard of Genoa City shifts once again. Young and the Restless sees Summer Newman running out of time to get Kyle Abbott back because he and Claire Grace Newman are in love, and they are about to move in together. We're going to talk about what stunts Summer may pull to break Kyle and Claire up for good before it's too late. Over the past week, Kyle and Claire exchanged I love yous, and on top of that, they decided they're going to take the plunge and move in together. You can bet it's not going to be long until Summer Newman hears about this. And then she realizes, whoops, I'm almost out of time. I need to do something drastic to get Kyle back. Summer's going to need to act fast, but I mean, what can she do? Well, we got a few ideas, and they're a little bit wild, but so is she. Don't forget she is definitely Phyllis Summer's daughter. Don't forget this is the same young woman who blackmailed Kyle over a liver donation to save his girlfriend Lola's life. If you were watching then, you'll remember Summer forced Kyle to dump Lola and marry her. So yeah, she's capable of almost anything. So first of all, Summer could address this directly. She could show up for a typical family night with just her, Kyle, and Harrison Locke. Then, after they put their son to bed, Summer could chat with Kyle, pour him a drink. That's not out of the ordinary for them. They'll have a glass of wine occasionally, and she could pull a page directly from the Phyllis playbook. Summer could slip something into Kyle's drink, and then Summer can seduce him or just outright take advantage. We've seen her mom do it. Even if Kyle is totally conked out, Summer Newman could even time it so that Claire walks in and sees her and Kyle half naked and clearly, at least apparently, looking like they did the deed. And of course, Claire would be devastated, but seeing is believing, especially on a soap. Or Summer could go the other way on Young and the Restless and set up Kyle's girlfriend in the same manner. Claire's a lightweight when it comes to booze, so it wouldn't take much for Summer to get Claire drunk or go ahead, spike her drink, set it up for her to look like she cheated on Kyle, maybe with Holden Novak. Because he's already been flirty with Claire, and Kyle noticed, and he was a little bit suspicious. Holden just told Audra Charles he wants a new job. He doesn't want to work for Damian Kane anymore on Young and the Restless. I guess he's disgruntled, so if she knows that, Summer could offer Holden a spot at Marchetti if he helps set up Claire to look like a cheater. I assume Holden, like a lot of people, is staying at the GCAC, so Summer could drug Claire and or get Holden to just give her some strong drinks so she gets tipsy. Then, once Claire is out of it, Holden could take her up to his hotel room. And then Summer could have the bartender tell Kyle that Claire went upstairs with a man. Of course, Kyle would follow, bust in. And if he found Claire and Holden in bed together, that could be a deal breaker. Then, of course, Summer could be right there to comfort Kyle. We could also see Summer jump in to be another co-conspirator in Audra and Victor Newman's plot to fake seduce Kyle. After she finds out Claire and Kyle are moving in together, Summer may run right to Victor to ask for his help to stop this, right? And he might send her to see Audra and leave it in their hands to break up Claire and that darned Abbott that he hates. And if they go that route, there's a couple of options for Summer. First, she could legitimately try and help Audra with her fake Kyle seduction thing. Or Summer could play really dirty and turn on Audra and drug her and Kyle both and put them in bed together for Claire to find so that she'll dump him. That would be really diabolical for Summer to do because it would also break up Audra and Nate Hastings. But don't forget, Summer hates Audra because she was always flirting and throwing herself at Kyle. And the second he dumped Summer, he went and slid into Audra's sheets. So yeah, she's hated her for a long time as The Young and the Restless enters the week of April 28 through May 2, 2025. Genoa City is bracing for emotional tremors across its most powerful families. Secrets, suspicion, and strategic moves are once again at the forefront of the Newman and Abbott households. Victor Newman remains the quintessential strategist, calculating, unrelenting, and loyal to his own form of logic. His protectiveness over his family continues to blur into control, especially when it comes to Claire. Viewing her as both an extension of himself and a potential liability, Victor initiates a subtle campaign to dismantle her budding relationship with Kyle Abbott. For Victor, Kyle represents unpredictability and distraction, qualities that have no place in his carefully curated vision for Claire's future. Rather than confront Claire directly, Victor employs his typical method of indirect persuasion, thinly veiled warnings, loaded advice, and ominous silences. Claire, perceptive and increasingly suspicious, begins to peel back the layers of her grandfather's secrets. Conversations with Victoria and Nikki trigger a deeper unease about her origins. As she probes into her parentage and questions Jordan's role in her past, Victor remains evasive. But Claire is no longer content with vague answers. The tension climaxes when Claire confronts Victoria directly, asking for the truth about her birth, Cole's role, and Jordan's involvement. Victoria admits uncertainty but insists on Cole's love. Still, Claire is unsatisfied. Her questions extend to Kyle, whose reassurances are heartfelt but unable to override her growing doubts. Claire's need for answers is no longer a quiet curiosity, it's a mission, and Victor, for the first time in years, feels his grip slipping. Meanwhile, Chelsea finds herself on uncertain ground with Adam. His recent behavior, romantic gestures coupled with mysterious disappearances, has triggered old anxieties. Though their reconnection had seemed promising, inconsistencies in Adam's actions suggest something hidden. Chelsea notices the warning signs: cryptic phone calls, unfamiliar names, and unexplained meetings. Her fear isn't infidelity. It's that Adam may be orchestrating something dangerous, possibly under Victor's influence once again. At the Abbott estate, Diane Jenkins wrestles with emotional instability as Jack pulls away from their shared renovation plans. Though the estate's transformation is complete, Jack's reluctance to embrace it suggests deeper hesitation. Diane suspects the issue is less about design and more about trust. Her insecurities resurface. Was the project a mistake, or is Jack distancing himself for other reasons? Despite her fears, Diane reveals that the renovation uncovered a personal artifact, a letter from Jack's late father, John Abbott, hidden for years behind a bookshelf. The moment is both profound and unsettling, hinting at buried truths that could reshape Jack's perspective. Elsewhere, Audra Charles negotiates a high-stakes deal with Victor. Sharp and poised, she challenges contractual terms with precision, signaling her refusal to be steamrolled by the Newmans. The meeting ends in mutual agreement, but not without Victor's subtle reminder: deals in Genoa City rarely go unnoticed. Audra's confidence, however, remains unshaken. She welcomes the attention. As the week concludes, Genoa City stands on shifting ground. Claire's investigation into her past threatens to unravel the Newman legacy. Diane prepares to disclose a long-held secret. Chelsea guards her heart, while Adam's next move remains unknown. And in the quiet corners of legacy homes and corporate boardrooms, new chapters wait to be written. In a dramatic escalation of the young and the restless ongoing corporate wars, Michael Baldwin has taken a bold and unexpected step. Following a heated confrontation with Victor Newman at the Newman Ranch, Michael, feeling deeply disrespected and alienated, initiated secret contact with Jack Abbott, Victor's longtime adversary. This move marks a significant betrayal, with potential to reshape Genoa City's power landscape. The rift between Michael and Victor was intensified after Victor harshly criticized Michael's loyalty and relegated him to menial tasks without consultation. Years of loyalty, during which Michael had served as Victor's fixer, legal defender, and confidant, were dismissed in an instant. Feeling humiliated, Michael arranged a clandestine meeting with Jack Abbott, signaling a possible realignment of alliances. Jack Abbott, recognizing the opportunity, has approached the situation strategically. Rather than manipulating Michael, Jack is offering the respect and attention that Victor withheld, creating a fertile ground for a new and powerful partnership. Should Michael fully defect, he could become a formidable threat, armed with sensitive information regarding Newman family secrets, corporate strategies, and internal scandals. The stakes are high. If Victor uncovers this betrayal, as he inevitably tends to, an all-out war would likely ensue, not only against Jack, but against Michael as well. Michael's insider knowledge, accumulated over years of service, could inflict substantial damage on Victor's business empire and personal reputation. Complicating matters further, Michael's wife, Lauren Fenmore Baldwin, has long been concerned about his deep entanglement with Victor's morally ambiguous dealings. Her reaction to Michael's new alliance could either solidify their marriage or trigger a severe personal crisis. Meanwhile, new revelations indicate that Victor had embedded a corporate spy, Matt, inside Abbott as part of an expansive espionage strategy. Matt's exposure threatens to unravel Victor's careful plans and could hand Jack a decisive advantage. There is speculation that Jack, or possibly Kyle Abbott, may have already uncovered Matt's true identity, putting Victor's infiltration efforts at serious risk. At a pivotal jazz lounge meeting, Michael joins Jack and Billy Abbott, symbolizing the potential collapse of traditional power structures. Michael, traditionally a staunch Newman ally, now faces a critical choice: stay loyal to a man who has consistently disrespected him, or leverage his insider knowledge to aid Jack and Billy in seizing control. Michael holds critical intelligence, including Victor's covert operations, upcoming business strategies, and explosive information about Jordan Howard, a scandal Victor has worked tirelessly to bury. Revealing these secrets could irreversibly damage the Newman family's standing and reshape Genoa City's corporate battleground. The shift in Michael's loyalty stems from long-standing tension, exacerbated by Victor's treatment of Jordan and Michael's growing disenchantment with Victor's leadership style. Feeling reduced to a disposable tool rather than a valued ally, Michael appears ready to reclaim his agency by exposing the very secrets he once protected. The ramifications of Michael's decision are monumental. A successful betrayal could allow Jack Abbott to challenge Newman Enterprises directly, or even enable Billy Abbott to rise as a major player in the corporate world. Regardless of the outcome, Michael's move has already altered the dynamics of Genoa City's business elite. As The Young and the Restless continues to unfold, viewers can expect a major realignment of alliances and an intensification of the corporate warfare that defines the series. The game has fundamentally changed, and no one, least of all Victor Newman, is immune from the consequences. In The Young and the Restless, Summer Newman's ambition has always set her apart, especially when it comes to matters of the heart. The recent deepening relationship between Kyle Abbott and Claire, marked by exchanged declarations of love and plans to move in together, has left Summer feeling shaken and unwilling to accept defeat. Historically, Kyle has been an essential figure in Summer's life, and losing him to another woman is a reality she refuses to face. In true Newman fashion, Summer is prepared to leverage every resource and skill at her disposal to reclaim what she believes is hers. Recognizing that time is against her, Summer is driven to act before Kyle and Claire's bond becomes irreversible. Her history reveals a willingness to cross ethical lines, including the notable instance where she blackmailed Kyle into donating a kidney to Lola. It's clear that when Summer's heart is involved, no tactic is too extreme. One potential move in her campaign involves inserting herself subtly but deliberately into Kyle and Claire's domestic life. During an evening when Kyle, Claire, and Harrison enjoy quiet family time, Summer could arrive unexpectedly, maintaining the facade of a casual, familiar presence. Seizing the opportunity, she could slowly remind Kyle of their shared past, reigniting old emotions under the guise of friendly conversation. With a carefully timed mention of their former dreams and lingering emotional ties, Summer would attempt to destabilize Kyle's commitment to Claire. Drawing from lessons learned from her mother, Phyllis, Summer may employ emotional manipulation, strategically evoking guilt, nostalgia, and doubt. She could emphasize the significance of their history together, suggesting that his future with Claire is built on less solid ground than he realizes. This slow, methodical manipulation could gradually erode Kyle's confidence in his relationship with Claire. However, Summer's tactics may not stop at emotional pressure. Her next calculated step could involve exploiting Claire's vulnerabilities, particularly her struggle with alcohol. In a more aggressive strategy, Summer might orchestrate a scenario wherein Claire becomes intoxicated during a social gathering, setting the stage for a manufactured betrayal. By discreetly spiking Claire's drink and coordinating with Holden Novak, an associate looking for a way out of his current job, Summer could arrange for Claire to be found in a compromising situation. Holden, motivated by the promise of a better position at Marchetti, might be persuaded to assist in the scheme. The plan would culminate in Kyle discovering Claire and Holden together, potentially devastating his trust in Claire. In executing such a plan, Summer positions herself as Kyle's emotional refuge, ready to offer comfort at his moment of heartbreak. If successful, this maneuver could permanently fracture Kyle and Claire's relationship, while elevating Summer's standing in Kyle's life once again. Nonetheless, such manipulations are fraught with risks. Should Kyle uncover the truth behind Summer's actions, the fallout could be catastrophic. Not only could he sever ties with Summer permanently, but Holden's involvement could backfire, damaging his reputation and relationships in Genoa City. Claire, already struggling to find her place within the Abbott family, could face lasting reputational harm that isolates her further. Ultimately, Summer's scheme, if carried out, may offer only a fleeting victory, overshadowed by long-term consequences. Her willingness to engage in deception underscores her desperation, but also highlights the peril of playing with the emotions and trust of others in Genoa City. As the young and the restless storyline unfolds, viewers can anticipate that the intricate web of lies and manipulation will lead to dramatic consequences, revealing once again that in Genoa City, power plays never go according to plan. In the ongoing corporate and personal entanglements within the young and the restless, Sally Spectra is positioning herself as both an observer and a strategist. Her insights into the dynamics between Billy Abbott and Phyllis Summers are leading her to take a bold stance against their collaboration. Sally's primary concern centers on Phyllis's volatile behavior, which she believes could jeopardize the stability of Abbott Communications, a company Billy is working hard to build. Sally views Phyllis as a liability, an unpredictable partner whose emotional decisions might derail the business before it can properly establish itself. While Billy acknowledges Phyllis's creativity and drive, He also admits to lacking a contingency plan should their partnership falter. This dependency exposes a critical vulnerability in his strategy. Though Sally advises Billy to consider replacing Phyllis with a more stable partner, she declines his suggestion to take on the role herself, citing her continued dedication to the fashion industry. Her refusal reflects a consistent personal boundary, yet it complicates their relationship by underscoring the emotional undercurrents between them. Meanwhile, Sally's attention shifts to Audra Charles, a rising player in Genoa City's business scene, whose alliance with Victor Newman marks a significant turn. Audra's willingness to compromise her ethics and manipulate relationships to advance her position raises alarms for Sally. Particularly concerning is Audra's covert involvement in Victor's plans to influence Kyle Abbott and Claire Newman, which threatens to destabilize multiple personal and professional relationships. Despite the risks, Audra remains focused on her goal, establishing her own enterprise under Victor's mentorship. Her actions indicate a readiness to sever ties, including her relationship with Nate Hastings, if it means climbing the corporate ladder. Sally sees in Audra both potential and danger. She recognizes that Audra's ambition mirrors the very traits that could eventually lead to her downfall. As Sally evaluates Audra's fit within the business landscape, she considers the possibility of Audra filling Phyllis's role at Abbott Communications. However, Billy's loyalty to Phyllis, coupled with his distrust of Audra's recent behavior, may render this transition unfeasible. While Sally believes restructuring the leadership could secure the company's future, she faces the reality that interpersonal dynamics may complicate any such shift. Ultimately, the future of Abbott Communications hinges on a delicate balance of trust, loyalty, and strategic decision-making. Sally's role, though indirect, remains pivotal. Her influence on both Billy and Audra could shape the next phase of the company's development. As alliances shift and ambitions collide, the path forward for Genoa City's most influential players remains uncertain. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Monday, April 28, reveal that the countdown to Victor Newman's fury will be on. Some alarm bells will go off for Lauren Fenmore Baldwin, so she'll warn Michael Baldwin about the catastrophe that's looming. Although Michael has been helping Victor with his scheme against Jack Abbott, he's not thrilled about plotting Gibbott's destruction, especially since this betrays his friendship with Diane Jenkins Abbott. At the same time, Michael doesn't want to rock the boat when it comes to his loyalty to Victor. However, Michael's effort to straddle the line and play for both teams could be a disaster waiting to happen. Lauren will get updates on a move Michael makes and see red flags right off the bat. Despite Michael's attempt to defend his tactics, Lauren will feel confident that he's setting himself up for more turmoil. Lauren knows what it's like when Victor unleashes his wrath, so she'll worry that Michael's going to be on the receiving end of it soon enough. While Lauren sounds the alarm about the terrible news to come, Victor may be busy planning a special surprise for Nikki Newman. As April concludes, Y and R spoilers say Victor will have a few tricks up his sleeve when it comes to pleasing the woman he loves. Since Nikki has a birthday coming up, Victor may take the first steps toward planning her party. Nikki will indeed have a major birthday bash down the road, so Victor might want to get the ball rolling on some preparations. In the meantime, Billy Abbott will reach his limit with Phyllis Summers and seems poised to cut her loose over her fixation on Daniel Romalotti Jr. having a job at Abbott Communications. Billy already made a prediction about getting rid of Phyllis if she kept this up. Phyllis' stubbornness could force her out of this partnership once Billy's pushed to his breaking point. In Genoa City, love rarely comes without heartbreak, and for Victoria Newman, that truth is about to be reaffirmed in the most devastating way. In upcoming episodes of The Young and the Restless, a dramatic twist unfolds as Nate Hastings delivers shocking news about Cole Howard. News so harrowing that Victoria finds herself emotionally wrecked and standing on the edge of a personal crisis. Victoria, the powerful yet emotionally vulnerable daughter of Victor Newman, has always walked a tightrope between boardroom dominance and romantic turbulence. Her quest for love has led her through some of the most intense relationships on the canvas. From the roller coaster with Billy Abbott to fleeting connections that never quite offered the deep fulfillment she craved. But with Cole, things felt different. There was history, a sense of healing, and for a brief moment, hope. Now, all of that teeters on the verge of collapse. Victoria and Cole's recent reconnection sent ripples through the Newman family and delighted longtime fans of the show. Their chemistry, rooted in years of complex emotional history, had been reignited with a new maturity and tenderness. For the first time in a while, Victoria seemed poised to open her heart again, this time to someone who truly understood her. But that fragile peace shatters when Cole begins to exhibit troubling symptoms, persistent coughing, fatigue, and signs of something much deeper and far more serious. Concern mounts until Nate Hastings, the trusted Newman family physician and confidant, steps in to investigate. What he uncovers will change everything. Cole may be suffering from a potentially incurable disease. The diagnosis, still under confirmation, is dire and leaves little room for optimism. When Nate breaks the news to Victoria, she is blindsided. Her immediate response is disbelief, an almost childlike refusal to accept the possibility of losing Cole just when she thought she had him back. The implications aren't just medical, they're deeply emotional. Victoria is thrust into a maelstrom of grief, fear, and unanswered questions. Nate Hastings, already enmeshed in the personal lives of the Newmans, becomes an even more pivotal character in the fallout. Initially stepping in as a doctor, Nate quickly finds himself offering more than just medical guidance. He becomes Victoria's anchor. As she spirals into emotional chaos, he provides calm, stability, and the listening ear she so desperately needs. Yet the lines between friendship and something deeper begin to blur. The shared trauma of Cole's diagnosis pulls Nate and Victoria into intimate emotional territory. While romance may not be on the immediate horizon, their growing bond lays fertile ground for a future entanglement. Could this be the beginning of a new chapter, or will it remain a platonic comfort during one of the darkest chapters of Victoria's life? As Victoria tries to make sense of Cole's prognosis, she begins to reflect on her past, particularly her history with ex-husband Billy Abbott. Billy has always been a complicated presence in her life. Their love story, marked by passion and heartbreak, has never fully resolved, despite numerous attempts to co-parent and coexist. In the face of potential loss, Victoria might find herself drawn once again to the familiarity of Billy's presence. After all, in times of immense pain, the human heart seeks refuge in the known. Could a devastating diagnosis reignite an old flame, or will it instead reaffirm that certain doors should remain closed? The writers have long toyed with the idea of Victoria being unable to move forward without first reconciling her past. The current storyline presents a golden opportunity to dive deep into that emotional struggle. With Cole's future uncertain, will Victoria chase after one last chance at happiness with someone else, or retreat into a shell of grief and loss? Despite the grim outlook, Victoria is not one to give up easily. Armed with desperation and hope, she pushes Nate to explore every possible treatment, no matter how experimental or untested. She becomes relentless in her quest to save Cole, even if that means chasing medical miracles or bending hospital policies. This introduces another layer of tension. How far will Victoria go to save the man she loves? Will her determination turn into obsession? And will Nate, caught between professional ethics and emotional loyalty, cross lines he never intended to? Of course, with medical drama comes unpredictability. There's always the possibility of a miracle or a crushing defeat. Regardless of the outcome, the journey itself will test every fiber of Victoria's emotional strength. Should Cole succumb to his illness, the consequences will reverberate far beyond Victoria. His passing would mark a monumental shift in the young and the restless landscape. For Victoria, the loss would be life-altering. Not only would she face the heartbreak of saying goodbye, but she'd also have to confront the silence left behind. The plans that will never come to fruition, the love that was cruelly cut short. In the wake of such devastation, Victoria must decide how to rebuild. Will she bury herself in Newman Enterprises, using work as a shield from pain? Will she open her heart again, perhaps to Nate, who stood by her when it mattered most? Or will this latest heartbreak harden her, closing her off from the kind of vulnerability love requires? Whatever the answer, one thing is certain: Victoria Newman's path is forever changed. This tragic twist will be a defining arc for the character, offering fertile ground for storytelling rich in emotion, growth, and unexpected turns. As viewers, all we can do is brace ourselves. Because in Genoa City, the only thing more unpredictable than business alliances is love. Stay tuned to The Young and the Restless as this heart-wrenching storyline unfolds.